The evidence proves, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that you are incapable of managing your own finances.
Her lawyer laughed and said, "You'll leave with nothing." Not quietly either, not under his breath. He said it like a punchline, like the ending had already been written, and all we had to do was perform it. The judge didn't laugh with him. She just looked at the USB drive in my lawyer's hand, then at my wife, then back at the screen on the wall. The courtroom felt so still I could hear my own breathing. Then the judge leaned forward and said, calm as winter, actually. Play the full footage. That was the moment my wife's smile stopped being a smile. I didn't always think it would come to this. People say divorce is messy, like it is an accident. But this wasn't an accident. This was strategy. My wife walked into the courthouse that morning in a cream blazer and black heels, hair swept back, face polished. She looked like she was stepping into a photo shoot, not a final hearing. When she saw me, she nodded like we were business associates who used to share a life. Then she turned to her lawyer and laughed at something he whispered. She used to laugh like that with me, back when we argued about couch colors and ate cheap takeout on the floor because we didn't even have a dining table yet. Back when love felt simple and the future felt like a room we were building together. Her attorney was Collins, tall, tan, expensive suit, teeth to white. The kind of man who speaks like he is always 5 steps ahead and expects you to feel small about it. He shook my lawyer's hand with fake politeness and looked at me like I was already finished, ready to wrap this up. He said, my lawyer, Ms. Patel, didn't react. She was older, calm, and sharp in the quiet way. She gave him a small smile that didn't give him anything. Very ready, she said. We took our seats. My wife on one side, me on the other. A wooden ocean between us. I stared at that aisle and remembered how we used to sit close in restaurants, shoulder to shoulder, sharing fries from the same plate like the world was gentle. Now she sat upright, arms relaxed, eyes dry, the posture of a person who believes she has already won 6 months earlier. She told me she was done on a quiet Saturday morning. No screaming, no plates thrown, just coffee cooling on the table and her phone face down beside the sugar jar. I can't do this anymore, she said without looking up. We want different things. That word hit me first. We, like she and I, were still a team, like this was a mutual decision. But I felt it instantly. There was another name hiding inside that we, even if she never said it out loud. I asked her if there was someone else. She said I was imagining things. I asked again a week later. She said I was being paranoid. Then she started taking calls in the bathroom with the faucet running. She started coming home late with vague explanations. She started changing passwords and carrying her phone like it was oxygen. I didn't yell at first. I didn't accuse. I just watched my marriage slowly turn into a room where the lights were on, but nobody lived there when the divorce papers arrived. They weren't written like heartbreak. They were written like a shopping list. She wanted the house, the car, half my retirement account. She even wanted me to pay her legal fees. Her lawyer sent a document listing what I was allowed to keep: my clothes, my tools, my personal electronics. That was it. I reread it 3 times, thinking I must have misunderstood, but I hadn't. They were trying to erase me from my own life, while smiling like it was normal. The first time Colin said it out loud, I felt something in me go cold. You'll leave with nothing, he told me in mediation, leaning back in his chair. If you're smart, you'll sign now. It'll be cheaper. My wife sat beside him, arms folded, eyes empty. She didn't correct him. She didn't say it was too much. She didn't even blink. Her silence answered every question I had been avoiding. After that, I stopped trying to rescue something she was actively setting on fire. A month before the final hearing, I couldn't sleep. The house was too quiet, but not peaceful. Quiet like a threat. I opened my phone and tapped an app I hadn't checked in months. The security camera. We installed it after a neighbor's house got broken into. A small black dot in the corner of our living room ceiling. I'd forgotten about it. Honestly, I think she forgot about it too. I clicked a random date. The footage loaded, grainy for a second, then sharp. Our living room appeared on the screen. The couch we argued about. The coffee table with the scratch from moving day. The plant she loved. The walls we painted together. And my wife. She was pacing back and forth in pajamas, phone pressed to her ear. It looked ordinary at first, like any night. Then the sound kicked in. I'm going to bury him, she said. The voice on the other end was muffled, a woman's laugh. A friend. My wife laughed too. Colin says the judge will eat out of my hand. I'll cry a little, talk about stress, and boom, the house is mine. My chest tightened so hard it felt like someone was squeezing my ribs. I watched myself walk into the frame. I didn't even remember that moment until I saw it. I came in holding a plate, trying to be normal, trying to be kind. I said something about dinner. She ignored me, turned away and rolled her eyes where I couldn't see. He's so pathetic, she whispered into the phone. Still trying. Making me dinner like that's going to fix anything. He has no idea I'm taking everything. On screen, I paused. I looked at her like I was trying to understand. Then I smiled anyway. I wanted to reach through the screen and grab that version of myself by the shoulders. I wanted to tell him to stop trying to earn love from someone who had turned love into a weapon. I clicked another clip, different night. Same room. This time she was on a video call, wine glass in hand, wearing the sweater I bought her last Christmas. Her voice had that relaxed cruelty people use when they believe they are safe. And if he fights it, she said, Collins will destroy him. I've got those recordings of him snapping. I mean, yeah, I provoked him, but the court doesn't need to know that. My hands went numb. I had snapped twice during the worst months. I remembered that. Once, when I discovered our joint savings had been drained and sent to an account I didn't recognize. Another time when I saw a hotel charge on our card and she insisted it was a spa day alone. Both times, I raised my voice. Once I knocked a chair over. I never touched her, never threatened her. But now, watching the footage, I saw what I had not wanted to admit. Before my snap, there were hours of belittling. Small humiliations, whispered insults, comments designed to poke at the exact spots she knew were tender. She would say I was useless, unlovable, broke, boring. Then she would go quiet, set her phone down, face up, and hit record. And only then would she speak softly, like a victim. Why are you yelling? She would say. You scare me when you get like this. She wasn't recording the truth. She was recording a finale she created. The camera caught it all. The before and after. The full context she planned to hide. At 2:43 a.m., I sat in the dark with the laptop glow on my face and created a folder on my desktop. I named it one word, truth. I downloaded every clip, every time stamp. Every night she forgot the ceiling was watching. I didn't confront her. I didn't threaten her. I didn't tell her I knew. I just collected reality, quietly, like a man rebuilding his spine. The next morning, I went to Ms. Patel's office with a USB drive and a face that felt older than it should. She watched the footage in silence. Her jaw tightened in small places as certain lines played. The one where my wife said she would fake tears. The one where she bragged that the judge would believe her. The one where she laughed about me leaving with nothing. When the last clip ended, Patel closed the laptop gently. "This," she said, "is why I tell people to save everything." I swallowed hard. "Do we show them?" "No," she said. "Not yet. We didn't tell the other side anything. We let Collins stay arrogant. We let him keep sending emails like victory was guaranteed. We let my wife keep acting like the house already belonged to her. We waited. And that's how I ended up sitting in that courtroom, staring at the woman who knew my favorite meal and my childhood fears, and somehow still decided to destroy me like I was nothing. The judge entered. She was older, hair pulled back, eyes tired in the way that said she'd seen too many people turn love into war. "Be seated," she said. Collins stood immediately, buttoning his jacket like he practiced the move in a mirror. "Your Honor," he began, "this is a straightforward matter of property division and financial stability. My client has been the primary organizer and emotional anchor of the marital home. The respondent has demonstrated emotional volatility." He spoke smoothly, like his words were clean facts. Then he handed over a folder. "I'd also like to submit recorded evidence of the respondent's emotional instability," he said. "Audio taken from the home during key incidents." My wife stared. Ahead.com/composed, like she'd rehearsed this. Face. The judge glanced at Ms. Patel. "The respondent have any evidence to submit before we proceed?" Patel stood slowly and placed one USB drive on the bench. "Yes, Your Honor," she said. "We have video and audio footage from the respondent's home security system over the past 12 months. It directly contextualizes the petitioner's evidence." Collins laughed. "An actual laugh video," he said. "Your Honor, anyone can splice clips. We have raw audio of outbursts." The judge raised one eyebrow. "If chain of custody can be verified, I will review any relevant evidence from both sides." Patel nodded. "All files are timestamped and traced from the cloud backup, unedited." For the first time, Collins hesitated. Just a flicker. My wife shifted in her seat. A small movement, but I saw it. The sudden calculation. The moment she remembered something she didn't want to remember. The cameras. The judge looked at the clerk. Then she said the words that changed everything. "Actually," she said, "before we proceed with selective audio from either party, play the full footage." My wife inhaled sharply. Collins went pale. The courtroom monitor flickered to life. The first clip appeared. Our living room, the couch, the table, my old work boots still on my feet. The timestamp showed the beginning of the night, not the ending. My wife's voice came first. "You forgot the electric bill again," she said, sharp as glass. I looked up on screen, confused. "I paid it on Friday." "No, you didn't," she said. "Don't lie to me. I have the receipt." I said. I'll pull it up. She rolled her eyes. Sure, like last time. The judge watched without blinking. The clip continued. My wife kept digging. Insults disguised as concern. Little comments meant to shrink me. I stayed calm for longer than I remembered. Then, on the screen, my wife walked to the corner, lifted her phone, and placed it on the shelf, face up, recording. Then she returned with a softer tone. Like a switch flipped inside her throat. I'm just trying to talk, she said sweetly. Why are you always so angry? My voice rose. Because you've been calling me useless for 10 minutes. Her eyes filled with perfect tears. Oh my God, you're yelling again. This is what I mean. You scare me. The judge lifted her hand. Pause. The screen froze on my worst moment. Mouth open, her eyes glossy. The judge turned to Collins. You submitted an audio file from this incident, correct? Yes, Your Honor, he said, suddenly less confident. With only the final portion, the judge said, not asking. Collins swallowed. We believed that portion was the most relevant. The portion that makes him appear to explode without cause, the judge replied. Silence spread through the room like a stain. Continue, she said. The next clip played. Another night. Same pattern. Then the clip that made the courtroom feel colder. My wife at the table, laptop open, smiling into a video call. Collins' face appeared on the screen. His voice was unmistakable. If we establish a pattern of emotional instability, he was saying, the judge will lean toward giving you the house. Save the flare-ups. Make sure you stay calm, soft-spoken, worried. Do not include background context. My wife nodded. I can do that. In the courtroom, Collins' real face drained of color. The judge's eyes hardened. Mr. Collins, she said slowly, did you advise your client to selectively edit evidence and manufacture a narrative for this court? He opened his mouth, closed it. Try it again. I was strategizing, he said. Strategizing the truth out of existence, the judge replied. The rest of the footage played like a confession my wife never planned to make. Provocation, recording, performance, messages about taking everything, little jokes about me leaving with nothing. It didn't show me as perfect. It showed me as human, tired, pushed, trying, and it showed her as an architect. That's enough. The screen went black dot. The judge removed her glasses and looked directly at my wife. Do you understand you attempted to mislead this court? My wife's lips trembled. I was just showing what he's like. You were showing what you made him look like, the judge corrected. There is a difference. Collins tried to speak again, but the judge stopped him with a raised hand. This court is not a theater, she said, and I will not reward manipulation. Then she looked down at her papers and spoke like a door closing. The request to award the marital home solely to the petitioner is denied, she said. Given the evidence of bad faith and deliberate misrepresentation, the marital home will be awarded to the respondent. My wife's head snapped up. What? You will vacate the property within 30 days, the judge continued. Your request for alimony is denied. You will be responsible for your own legal fees. Then the judge turned toward Collins like a storm, focusing into a single point. And Mr. Collins, she said, I will be referring your conduct to the state bar for review. Collins looked down at his table like it might save him. My wife started shaking her head, whispering things that sounded like excuses. The judge didn't move an inch. Court is adjourned, she said, and the gavel hit the block. For a second, nobody moved. It felt like the room was trying to understand what just happened. Outside the courtroom, my wife caught up to me near the hallway and grabbed my sleeve. "You set me up," she whispered, voice sharp with panic. "You made me look like a monster." I looked down at her hand on my arm. Then I looked at her face. "No," I said quietly. "You wrote the script. You set the stage. All I did was let the judge watch the whole story." Her eyes filled with tears, but they didn't look polished anymore. They looked real, messy. "Late. You got the house," she said, voice breaking. "Happy now." I thought about the nights I couldn't sleep, the mornings I tried to be kind, the way she tried to erase me, not just from property, but from dignity. "It's not about the house," I said. "It's about not leaving with nothing." I walked away before she could answer. Weeks later, the house felt strange. Empty corners, quiet rooms, no perfume in the air, no footsteps in the hallway. I stood in the living room and looked up at that small black dot in the corner. The security camera I almost forgot existed. I opened the app and turned it off. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like I was being watched. I didn't feel like I was performing. I felt like I could breathe, because the truth is, when someone tells you you'll leave with nothing, they're usually talking about money, furniture, property, comfort. But they forget something, the one thing you can carry out, that no one can take from you, the proof that you survived somebody trying to rewrite your life in front of a judge. And the judge didn't buy the lie. Sometimes the truth doesn't need to shout. Sometimes it just needs one moment, one screen, one sentence from the right person. "Actually," the judge said, "play the full footage."